We are at the time of the podcast where the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT, CFL Jim, comes on, tells you what to lay down. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. I just saw an incredible, insane pick in the Winnipeg-Montreal game happening right now as we're recording.
You know what? Ballers make baller plays. And number 24 just made a baller play.
That was a fucking baller play.
That was a baller play right there, what he just did. And this is I'll tell you what, this is a sneaky little good game, dude.
This is a great game. Watching this in contrast to the Hall of Fame game is kind of funny.
I mean, is it because you bet the Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game, or?
I mean, part of it. I have the under two.
See, I only did the first half under, which is going to lose.
No, I did the full game. Under 30.5.
Yeah, I did the first half. So I got it at 16, grinding that out right now. So we have an interesting week of games here coming up. Very interesting week. Been a lot of line movement all over the board. Your week 8. What are the two biggest things that stood out to you during week 8?
I mean, Ottawa, of course, getting their first win. Massive for the Red Blacks. They need that. I'm excited to see if that creates some momentum for them or if that was kind of a flash in the pan because this Toronto team is nothing but chaos and we can never predict what the Argonauts do from one week to another. Also, the Rough Riders are not as good as we thought they were, especially that offensive line has a lot of issues. Cody Fajardo, ever since his knee just got absolutely mangled, hasn't been able to do that scrambling that he is so known for, and it just really has hurt this Rough Riders offense. And in turn, because the offense is so bad, the defense isn't as good as you'd want it to be either.
Now, my question to you is this. Rough Riders obviously don't have a game this week. Why did they just not sit them out one more week? That way it gets 3 weeks off.
Specifically because it's against BC, and that was a very important game, even as early on in the season as we are. That's a super important game for standings in the West. You're basically playing for third place behind Calgary and Winnipeg. You're playing to kind of be in that top spot, and the fact that BC has the leg up on them now means a lot going forward.
Okay, all right. So now let's pull up the week 9 odds. We got Winnipeg and Montreal going at it right now. These are we're using Bovada. You know what? Jim and I kind of get around a little bit. We go from book to book.
Switch it up.
You know, we like to keep you guys guessing as to which book are we going to use. So game number 1, which is mañana, we have the Stampeders going up against the Red Blacks. Red Blacks getting 4.5 over under money line of plus 175, over under a 50. Now, if you watched, I think that was a little bit lower earlier in the day, if I'm mistaken.
Yesterday I believe this was at 48.5, 49. The spread you'll notice also yesterday was 5.5, minus 5.5 for the Calgary Stampeders. So I know I've been on the Red Blacks plus 5.5. It seems to be around their number for a lot of their games. But 4.5 makes it way tougher for me.
Now, hypothetically, I'm going to look at our friends over at BetStamp. Those who don't know, BetStamp is a phenomenal app where you can basically shop around for lines. I am pulling them up right now. You know what? It's 4.5 across the board. It's a
full day move.
4.5 across the board. So for those that didn't watch Spring Fever earlier in the day,
points bet 5.
Okay. So what? Okay. So would you do a 5? What would you do here in this situation?
If I'm seeing a 4.5. I don't know if I feel like touching that. 5.5 felt good. 4.5, I still lean Ottawa. I still would lean Red Blacks to keep it close. I think they can keep it within 3. I think my favorite play, though, is probably the under 50.
Okay, why is that?
Both teams have all right to decent quarterbacks and offenses in general, but both teams have really good defenses. Even like Ottawa's defensive front is amazing. They can create a lot of pressure, and I think Bo Levi Mitchell's not that great of a quarterback. And we've seen teams like Calgary and Ottawa specifically, they like to kick field goals more often than not. The ending of their drives has resulted in field goals too many times. It's just a continuation of a pattern you see with these teams, and it just doesn't lend itself to points in my mind.
The one thing that the CFL has taught me is no lead is safe. If you have a chance to get 7, you got to get 7. You can't be kicking threes. You can't be kicking threes at all. And I believe it was the Stampeders when they played the Blue Bombers last week. They just kept on getting threes. You know what I mean?
Both times they played the Bombers, they kept kicking threes. And I was like, you know what? If I'm Calgary, I'm just going to start going for it on third down more often. I'm going to start risking it. You got to play risky against those kinds of teams.
You got to risk it to win the biscuit.
For real.
So I'm only on the Redbacks here. I got them at 5. I would actually still play the 4.5. I'm not going to touch the money line, though.
I'm not touching that money line.
Next play, we're going with a team that's kind of looking a lot better, and one team that you and I aren't that high on. We got the Hamilton Ticats against the Toronto Argonauts. The line is the Argonauts are laying 2. Tiger Cats are plus 110 on the money line, over under a 45. What say you, my friend?
Ticats money line. Boom. Book it. That's my game. Love it.
That's your game? You like that? You're digging it?
I like that a lot. I'm very high on Dane Evans. I think he's looking better and better these last couple of weeks. This Ticats defense is legit. I have no idea what to think of Toronto. This game could go over. It could go under. I could see it going a whole bunch of different ways, but I see the Ticats winning.
I like the Ticats here. I'm on the plus 110 as well. I'm not going to touch the over under at all.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Now, we talked about this like a couple weeks ago with these, I don't want to say funky scores, is like, what's like, because everyone knows in NFL, 3 is like the magic number. 3 is like
you don't see 3 too often on the CFL.
So in CFL, like, what's the key number? Is 2 the key number because like you can get 1 for the punt? Like, what's the key number in the CFL?
2 is a good key number. I don't know specifically why, but you see a lot of 5.5. You see a lot of 5.5 spreads. You don't usually see like a touchdown worth. You usually don't see 7. It's usually around like a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
2 is not bad just because of the Rouge, just because of the being able to score like a single point.
So, all right, I'm gonna take the Tiger Cats here. I just thought that's something I've asked because of the 1 and everything. Now the next game, we got BC, biggest number of the week, a 10 money line, 375 for the Elks, over under 51.5. Montreal just got a big first down too on a challenge play. Love to see it. What say you here, my friend?
Man, so the Elks are playing hurt. They're playing fierce, though. They're playing competitive. BC looked great last week. I think 10 is too much. I think people are seeing what happened last time these teams played and looking too much into that. Because BC absolutely throttled Edmonton the last time these two teams got together. And I think Edmonton's a way different team than they were week 2.
I think 10's way too many, too. I'm definitely going to take the 10.
10's too many points.
Do we take the 375?
I do not touch the money line.
Because BC was kind of that team. Like, neither you and I were that big on them. Okay.
At the preseason, I'm all over BC now. That offense is probably the best offense in the league.
So
Nathan Rourke is legit.
Your team Lions, your team BC.
Dude, they're number 2 in the West right now. They're good.
Oh, the guy from Montreal just dropped the pass. God damn it. So BC is playing. Are they coming off a bye? They're coming off a bye.
No, they're coming off a win. They beat the Rough Riders.
Coming off a big win off the Rough Riders. Playing the Elks at home. Have the Stampeders on deck. Could this be like a letdown spot though? Maybe
it's a good sandwich for Edmonton to get BC, but I could see BC kind of having a letdown game, which makes me like maybe think under, but I just think Edmonton keeps it close. I like the +10 quite a bit.
I'll take the +10 as well. Any action on the over under?
Small lean on the over, probably. I think the fact that Edmonton is better this time around than they were last time leans me to the over because I think they can kind of push the Lions a little bit. But that's a tough one. I think my favorite one's probably the under on that Ottawa Calgary game for totals.
So my parlay of the little week is going to be boom, boom, boom. Plays out +665. Tiger Cats plus the 110. Redbacks plus 4.5. Elks +10. What is your parlay of the week, Jimbo?
Mine is basically the same as yours. Instead of the Red Blacks +4.5, I just take the under. I think it's the same odds probably. Yep.
Same exact odds. So Jim's parlay of the week is under 50 points in the Stampeders Redbacks, Tiger Cats +110, and +10 for the Elks. Jimbo, what do you have coming on? Are we going to see the return of the cooking show this week?
I think so. So I'm gonna run a test tonight to see how the logistics work out by the shop where I'm grilling, and hopefully we'll see a cooking show tomorrow. If it's not grilling, if I can't get the logistics on the internet to work out there, I'm gonna do a cooking show regardless, and I'm just gonna make steak. I'm gonna make a steak dinner.
There you go. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. Guys and girls, make sure you give the GOAT XFL Jim a follow on all social media at XFL Jim. And we will have the Big 12 college football preview coming out on BTV this Monday. So set those reminders. We'll talk soon, my friend.
Spoiler alert. I'm high on K-State, like always.
I'll probably be on the Kansas win total over again. All right.
Same.
All right. Talk soon, my friend.
Bye-bye.